Trump, we're going to fix it. That I can tell you. Vote for Trump. Vote for Trump. So, here's a list of things. We're going to fix our depleted military. Our depleted military. You look at where we are compared to where we used to be. Number of ships. The kind of weaponry we have. You look at what's going on with the people we just made rich. Look at what's going on.
Welcome back, Bomb Factor.
Just take a look at what's gone on. We want to have peace through strength. We have to be stronger. We have to have better equipment. Our people in the military are the best. But they have old equipment. They have old fighter jets. They have fighter jets that are
Thanks
so
for staying
old
with us here live
that they
as
have
we
to go
continue to watch Trump's
museums where
speech
they're
from
on
just
display.
hours ago here
They
on a
have to go
Friday
to
on the
plane
Bond Factor.
graveyards
Thanks
'cause
so
they
much
don't
for
make the
coming
parts
and being
anymore.
with us
These
tonight.
are our fighter jets that we're currently
We had a nice
using.
break there a moment
So
ago.
we're going to fix our very, very depleted military so that
At least
our
I thought it
people
was
in
fun.
the
We
military
listened to some
can have the kind of
pretty
depth
cool music and
the kind
doing the
of
thing.
equipment that they deserve. We're going
You know,
to
it's
work
hard to
with
even
our
find a
veterans
spot where you
because
want to cut
our
out of
veterans,
Trump's
in
speech
many
because
cases,
he's been doing this for the last 3 or 4 months now. Trump is at war right now with not only Hillary and her established, cronies, but also the media, people on the Republican right, and just about everybody else that you can imagine. I mean, it is really something to see. And it's an incredible, inspiring time to be a part of. And I feel fortunate just on the Bond Factor to be able to bring it to you. Maybe I can get this thing to lighten up there. Here I am, working on an automatic camera. You can barely see me, so I'll go back to the debate feed for a minute and correct that. But welcome back, everybody. And what a week we have had again in the political scene and the political spectrum. Thousands upon thousands of emails coming out from WikiLeaks. And something worth mentioning, about WikiLeaks is they have such an incredible vetting process that there really has been no dispute, even though you will hear rumblings through the streets about, WikiLeaks hasn't been confirmed to be, if it's been stolen or hacked email information, then there's no way that it can be real. Well, that has just pretty much been debunked throughout this week. Hillary has not formally came out and said these emails aren't real. It's more been sort of a pundit reaction, and everyone, based on the vetting process of WikiLeaks, is saying that they believe that these emails that continue to pour out are true. So what's funny also about WikiLeaks is sort of the way they do things is a little bit different than the way that you might think. They don't really necessarily just see all the information and rush out and grab a microphone and a camera and go out and put the information out there. They work and vet through every single piece of documentation, and it's released through very formal and unbiased methods. So just to sort of talk a little bit about the way WikiLeaks operates, I encourage you to go out and look a little bit about what they do. And they are releasing absolute bombshells to the public. They're tying in Clinton and her regime to bombshell information with John Podesta, Cheryl Mills, not only things about Bernie Sanders that came out last week, and if you look, it's coming out almost in chronological order as the information continues to come out. Not only that, there's hints of corruption within the voting process. We have James O'Keefe coming out, Democratic, commissioner of the Board of Elections, stating that, there's definitely corrupt. They're bussing people in. It's been going on for years. It's time for people to realize that the people that we trust, the people that we thought were even our friends, no matter which party you're in, You have to wake up, people. The Democratic versus Republican Party fight has been a washout for years. It's a distraction from the New World Order. It's a way for them to try to, I guess, influence every single thing that happens in America. So we'll take a quick break from the Trump thing briefly, because I want to show you an article that just came out, and it sort of, I guess, embellishes what happened with WikiLeaks. And here we have, what the newrepublic.com is saying is the most important WikiLeaks revelation, not even being about Hillary. So, as we talk more about this here on the Bond Factor, the point we've been trying to make is Trump is at war. He is at war with everyone. It was believed that Trump would never exist before he existed. And the plan was that, Obama would walk through, and then Hillary would walk through, and we'd have another 4, maybe even possibly 8 years. And by the time that happened, the New World Order would be completed. So if you want to, read through this a little bit, it goes back to 2008, and that is probably the reason why there's been corruption to the highest level. Resistance, Comey, FBI, everybody saying no, there's no criminal, nothing to see here. We've talked about this so many times here. And I think, newrepublic.com, it's an article worth reading. Again, as I try to be passive, sort of aggressive with the information, I don't want to sound like but this is stuff that's trickling out, and this is just coming out. So, I encourage you to take a look at some of the things that we're seeing. I mean, this stuff is real. This is not something that we're just, the information's out there. The corruption is real, and I think you have to look at Donald Trump and what's happening as a revelation. So we have almost more information than we can take in, and I think the WikiLeaks thing that's trickling down is very, very, very important. And as a final thought with the Trump war, when you look at what he's dealing with, we had the October surprise, and we talked about that before, the Trump tape that came out, and here we are now talking about, the October surprise, this sort of, if you know anything about politics, you know that they're going to wait and they're going to come out with an October sort of surprise. And now there's a lot of evidence coming out that even that is corrupt. So it's befuddling to even start to think about the corruption level that exists. And the fact that Trump is exposing it is amazing. But I want everybody to just try and pretend that there's a scale in front of you, and you're down at the local butcher shop, right? And he's got some meat or whatever, and he's like, well, on the one side of the scale, we do have this Trump tape where Trump is pretty obnoxious as a billionaire, as a guy who, I like to refer to people like Tiger Woods and Britney Spears and all kinds of people that get money in their pocket and do amazingly strange things. Is it really so unusual that we see strangeness with people that are worth billions of dollars? Now, women, I would argue, are throwing themselves at Trump all the time. There's probably stories that you wouldn't believe that go on. And I again reference, guys in the celebrity spectrum, Justin Bieber, another guy, a lot of money early in his life. Trump as a billionaire, could you imagine if Justin Bieber made it until 50 years old? He would have, on his current path, so much scandal and so much crap on him. Trump made it decades. And the best that they can come out with is a tape of something, 11 or 12 years ago about what he believed was an enclosed conversation And then this big sort of backup October surprise trying to continue with an airline stewardess that somehow, shuffled her way into first class and got, Trump and felt offended, and he touched her inappropriately. And on the flip side, we have so much coming out on Bill Clinton, which I don't even want to go there because people say, well, he isn't running for president, which is true. But there's so much going on with him that in his past and almost in his present, and there's more coming out on that. I think we'll probably try and do more on that next week. So things to think about as we continue with the Bond Factor in our second week of live broadcast. I want to thank people staying with us live. The broadcast is a little rough, but it's certainly a good time, and we're going to keep it going. We're going to be here for a little while tonight as we continue to watch Trump and some of the other things that are going on. It is a fascinating time to be alive. That's for sure. I mean, you're either tucked into the sand and you've got your head and you just sort of feel like, well, I almost wanted to kick myself for last week keying so much on the issues and trying to say, well, Hillary stands for this and Trump stands for this, and you need to. I felt guilty this week about that because I believe it's not even at that point. It's Trump or it isn't Trump. And if you don't vote for Trump, you have to, I believe, embrace and accept whatever it is that you are embracing with Hillary. You can't deny it.
And it's not global warming, it's nuclear warming. And I'll tell you what,
and here we go.
we're going to work very
one of the other
hard
things I like is I take a break here with
situation,
Trump. We're going to play a little music too. Come back live. Is that he's out there every day. He's talking every day. He's doing it every day.
And she talks tough about
I think Hillary, she's probably asleep. She's going to be asleep for a few more hours, and we'll hear from her in maybe a couple of days. So we'll be right back here on the Iron Fist Cruise Radio Bond Factor. Thanks for staying with us.
Bernie Sanders said she has bad judgment, and I said thank you.